Chosen one, if your eyes have landed on these words right now, know it is no coincidence. There is a reason you felt drawn to click on this message, a reason your spirit is quietly quickening with anticipation as you hear my voice echo through your mind. You have been guided here by forces beyond the scope of your daily awareness, nudged to pay attention to a sign that is bigger than any passing thought. Deep inside, there is a sense that something significant is about to unfold, something that has the potential to change the direction of your entire life. And yes, this message is that sign. Before we go any further, I want you to do 3 simple but powerful things. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment 777 below. By typing those 3 digits, you are sending an unmistakable signal to the universe that you acknowledge this message, that you welcome the wealth that is drawing ever closer, and that you stand ready to receive what the cosmos has in store for you. Pause for a moment and sense the energy moving around you. Perhaps it feels like a gentle hum just beneath your skin, a subtle electricity coursing through your veins, or a warmth in your chest that you can't quite explain. That is the resonance of destiny calling your name, the frequency of higher purpose gently tapping at your consciousness. Throughout your life, you may have encountered small hints that you were meant for something more, little synchronicities, passing compliments from strangers, odd coincidences that made you think, this can't just be chance. Each of those moments has been a puzzle piece, leading you to this very instant in time. You might be wondering why the concept of wealth is woven so tightly into this message. After all, isn't spirituality about transcending material concerns? The truth is that material abundance and spiritual growth do not stand at odds. When your mind, body, and soul align with the flow of divine provision, wealth can become an extension of your life's purpose rather than a distraction from it. Imagine having every resource you need to support your dreams, care for your loved ones, and give back to causes that spark your passion. That is the kind of wealth I'm talking about, the wealth that liberates you from daily anxieties, allowing you to serve the world from a place of authenticity and generosity, rather than scarcity or fear. Chosen one, if you see this message now, it is a strong indication that wealth is near. It's not just about money, though money is often part of it. It's about stepping into a reality where you no longer live constrained by lack or limitation. Maybe you've been working incredibly hard, sacrificing your time, energy, and even your peace of mind, but you haven't yet seen the fruits of your labor. Perhaps you feel as if you're taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back, stuck in a cycle that drains your spirit. That cycle can end the moment you decide to break free and embrace the abundance that's been patiently waiting for you to notice it. Wealth, in the truest sense, is not a random blessing bestowed upon a lucky few. It is a frequency you tune into, a state of mind that invites the universe to support you in bigger and brighter ways. Close your eyes if you can and visualize the life you truly desire. Envision waking up each morning in a place that inspires you, your mind flooded with gratitude rather than worry about how to make ends meet. Picture yourself in a role that fulfills your soul, whether that's running a business you're passionate about, dedicating time to creative pursuits, or traveling to the places that have long stirred your curiosity. Sense the relief and the joy that come from no longer being weighed down by financial burdens. That feeling you just conjured isn't a fantasy, it's a preview of the reality you can call forth by aligning your actions, beliefs, and intentions with the universal flow of abundance. Don't misunderstand, alignment is not a passive act. You don't simply wish for wealth to appear and wait idly for a miracle. True alignment involves recognizing that you are a co-creator in this vast tapestry of existence. It involves harnessing the gifts and talents you've been given, taking inspired steps toward your goals, and trusting that the universe will meet you halfway. This might mean standing up for yourself in negotiations, stepping beyond your comfort zone to build new connections, or learning new skills that elevate your capacity to thrive. Each courageous action you take signals to the universe that you are ready to handle greater levels of blessing, that your arms are wide open to receive the bounty that once felt just out of reach. You might be asking yourself, why should I trust these words? Why is this message any different from the countless other motivational speeches I've heard? The answer lies not in my words, but in your own response to them. Notice the subtle shifts happening within you. Does your heart beat a little faster? Is there an inner voice whispering that something about this resonates deeply with your journey? That voice is your intuition, the inner compass that points you toward the path of your greatest growth. When your soul recognizes truth, it reacts with a sense of relief, excitement, or curiosity. Trust that feeling. It's the language of your higher self, guiding you to the next stage of your evolution. Chosen one, you have spent far too long ignoring the subtle signs. Maybe you chalked them up to coincidence or dismissed them as daydreams. Maybe you convinced yourself that a life of abundance was something reserved for other people, not for you. But the universe has grown louder, delivering messages in every possible form until you can no longer overlook them. That's why you're here, reading or listening at this exact moment, feeling the stir of possibility in your bones. The calling is too strong to deny, and the cost of denying it is a life of unfulfilled potential. Those who ignore the signs often find themselves in cycles of stagnation, wondering why fortune seems to smile on others but bypass them. The truth is, fortune doesn't bypass anyone. It knocks on everyone's door, but not everyone dares to open it wide. Take a moment now to consider the role belief plays in shaping your life. Belief is a catalyst. It can either propel you forward or chain you to your present circumstances. If deep down you harbor the belief that wealth is only for the lucky or the privileged, guess what your reality will reflect? On the other hand, if you accept that wealth, spiritual, emotional, and financial flows easily to those who align with it, you'll find that reality begins to rearrange itself around that new conviction. Suddenly, opportunities you once dismissed or overlooked will reveal themselves as stepping stones. Ideas you never considered possible will bubble up in your mind, and people who can help you will appear in the most unexpected ways. This is where you must exercise courage. Stepping into wealth often involves letting go of old stories, stories of lack, stories of unworthiness, stories that chain you to the belief that you're not enough. These narratives may have been ingrained in you from childhood, from environments that constantly emphasized limits rather than possibilities. But now you stand at a crossroads. You can cling to those limiting narratives, or you can rewrite your story. When you rewrite it, you choose words like capable, deserving, abundant, and favored. You adopt beliefs that empower rather than confine you. This process is not always easy, but it is profoundly liberating. You might feel resistance to this idea. That resistance is simply the echo of your old self, the one who was used to playing small. It's natural to feel some attachment to what is familiar, even if it no longer serves you. But realize that growth requires sacrifice. You sacrifice the comfort of your old worldview to gain the expansive opportunity of a life fully lived. Think about how a caterpillar must shed its form to become a butterfly. The cocooning process is no doubt uncomfortable, possibly terrifying, but it's also necessary for the transformation that allows flight. You, chosen one, are in a similar stage of metamorphosis. Will you cling to the ground, or will you spread your wing? When you decide to spread those wings, something magical happens. You become magnetic. You attract resources, people, and situations that align with your elevated vision. Your energy shifts from desperation to inspiration, from fear to faith, and from doubt to certainty. That certainty communicates to the universe a readiness that it responds to with absolute precision. This is why you'll hear stories of individuals who seemingly, in the blink of an eye, go from struggling to succeeding. It's not that they stumbled upon a secret recipe overnight, they simply made a decisive shift in their consciousness, which then rippled out to change their external circumstances. Chosen one, if you see this message and feel even the slightest glimmer of recognition that it is meant for you, do not ignore it. Wealth is near, so near you might even feel its whisper right behind you, waiting for you to turn and embrace it. The path to that embrace begins with your willingness to act. Type 777 in the comments right now, and let that symbolic action anchor your commitment to a new life. By typing those numbers, you declare to the cosmos that you are more than a passive spectator. You are an active participant, ready to seize the blessings that are meant for you. As you consider the steps ahead, understand that they won't always be straightforward. You might find yourself facing choices that challenge you, requiring leaps of faith where no safety net is visible. But that's how you grow. Each leap expands your capacity to receive, your capacity to trust, and your capacity to transform adversity into triumph. Be prepared for moments when your old fears resurface, when the world tries to persuade you to return to the smaller version of yourself. Expect it, but do not yield to it. Instead, let it reinforce your determination to move forward, fueled by a vision of what awaits on the other side. This journey also involves learning to listen to the subtle nuances of your intuition, that still, quiet voice inside you that always knows the next step. Logical thinking and careful planning do have their place, but intuition offers you the guidance of a higher perspective. When the logical path hits a dead end, intuition often lights the detour that leads to undiscovered territory and hidden treasure. Practice tuning into that inner guidance more frequently. You can do this through meditation, journaling, silent reflection, or simply by being more mindful in your day-to-day activities. The more you trust your intuitive nudges, the louder and clearer they become. You may wonder about timing. Why now? Why didn't this moment of breakthrough come sooner? The universe's timing is exquisitely precise. Perhaps you were not ready for this information before. Maybe you still had lessons to learn, or you needed to reach a state of inner readiness before you could make the most of your upcoming blessings. Think of an unripe fruit on a branch. If plucked too early, it won't be sweet. So too are we in our spiritual development. We must allow ourselves to ripen through experiences, both joyful and painful, so that when the moment arrives, we can savor the fullness of what is offered. This fullness is not something you keep to yourself. One of the most beautiful aspects of genuine wealth is the ripple effect it creates. When you receive blessings, you are better positioned to bless others. Imagine how many lives could be improved by your success. Family members who benefit from your support, friends who gain hope from your example, communities that receive resources they desperately need, and strangers who feel inspired by your story. This is what it means to be chosen. Not simply to prosper for your own sake, but to become a vessel through which the universe's abundance flows into the wider world. Chosen one, do you feel the magnitude of this calling yet? It is as though every fiber of your being is awakening to a purpose you can't fully articulate, yet you know is real. That is the sense of destiny one feels when stepping into the flow of divine provision. As you continue forward, you'll notice that your thoughts become more optimistic, your speech more uplifting, and your decisions more aligned with long-term growth rather than short-term gratification. This shift might confuse some people in your life, those who cling to old paradigms or believe that cynicism is more realistic. Let them have their doubts. You have a higher mission to pursue. Even as you embrace this mission, remember that you are still human. There will be days when you're exhausted, moments when you question your path, and situations where you face setbacks that seem insurmountable. This is normal. Transformation is not a linear process. It's a dance of progress and regression, a spiral rather than a straight line. What matters is not that you remain perpetually in a state of high vibration, but that you keep choosing to come back to it whenever you fall. Over time, these dips will become less frequent, and your baseline of abundance consciousness will rise steadily. One of the most powerful tools you can wield on this journey is gratitude. Practice gratitude not just for what you already have, but for what you know is on its way. This form of anticipatory gratitude is a statement of faith, an acknowledgement that the blessings you seek are so certain that you can already thank the universe for them. Gratitude is the language of abundance, a signal that you are ready to steward the gifts you desire. Every time you offer thanks, you strengthen the bridge between your current reality and the reality you are stepping into. Let's talk about the importance of setting boundaries. As you rise into new levels of wealth, financially, emotionally, and spiritually, you may find that not everyone is thrilled with your transformation. Some might try to pull you back to old habits or old ways of thinking. Others may project their fears onto you, telling you that your dreams are unrealistic. While compassion is noble, you must also protect your energy. Choose carefully the people you allow into your inner circle, the environments you spend your time in, and the types of content you consume. These factors either uplift you and support your vision, or weigh you down and distract you from it. Remember that the journey toward wealth is as much about who you become as it is about the external gains. The unfolding of your highest potential is the real treasure. Money simply amplifies who you already are. If you cultivate a spirit of kindness, generosity, and ethical integrity, wealth will allow you to do more good in the world. It will become a tool you wield in service of something greater than yourself. This perspective keeps your heart aligned with your soul's mission, ensuring that your pursuit of abundance remains pure and purposeful. Chosen one, if you see this and feel the resonance, let me remind you once again, don't ignore it. Wealth is near. Opportunities may present themselves in subtle ways. A chance encounter, a job offer, a random inspiration in the middle of the night, or even a new way of looking at an old situation. When these moments arise, you must act decisively. The universe rewards boldness, especially when that boldness is born of faith rather than desperation. Even small acts, done consistently, can lead to significant breakthroughs. And yes, keep writing 777 in the comments if you haven't already. That small gesture is a powerful declaration, a seed you plant in the universal field that says, I believe, I choose, I commit. Each time you take an action that reflects your new state of faith, you deepen your connection to the abundant flow. It may seem too simple, but the universe often works through simple, symbolic gestures that anchor our intentions in physical reality. Like, subscribe, and comment. 777. Letting these acts become your testimony that you are ready to move from spectatorship to active participation in your destiny. As you step into these new vibrations, you might notice a sense of lightness, a feeling of joy that bubbles up for no apparent reason. That is the soul recognizing that it's now free to expand. You might also notice that your fears begin to shrink in the face of a larger vision. It's like standing at the base of a mountain. Previously, you only saw the steep climb, but now your gaze shifts to the peak, to the magnificent view that awaits at the summit. Yes, the climb remains steep, but the reward is so compelling that your fear pales in comparison to your excitement. Also be aware that your energy may attract people who see your light and seek to benefit from it. This is not always a bad thing. After all, part of your purpose might be to help others grow. But be mindful of those who simply want to drain your energy without contributing to your forward motion. Kindness is essential, but so is discernment. Part of becoming wealthy, internally and externally, is learning to navigate these interactions with grace. You can be a fountain of generosity while still protecting your sacred space. Another key factor in this transformation is letting go of resentment. Holding on to past hurts, grudges, or bitterness weighs you down energetically. It's like trying to run a marathon with heavy weights strapped to your ankles. Every step is more laborious than it needs to be. Forgiveness is not about condoning wrongdoing. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional baggage that hinders your forward progress. When you release those burdens, you open up even more space in your life for the good things that are clamoring to get in. Chosen one, I hope you are beginning to see why ignoring this message would be a disservice to yourself. Your readiness for wealth is not just a whimsical idea. It's a profound shift that can set every area of your life ablaze with possibility. And the greatest irony is that the only real obstacles standing in your way are the illusions of limitation you've grown accustomed to. Once you shatter those illusions, you'll laugh at how small they truly were compared to the vastness of your soul's potential. The universe speaks in many languages: serendipities, dreams, quiet intuitions, and yes, even a video or a piece of text like this one. It's beckoning you to step into a new chapter where wealth isn't just a distant hope, but a living reality. Will it require patience, resilience, and unwavering faith? Absolutely. Will it push you to confront parts of yourself you've long hidden or neglected? Almost certainly. But will it be worth it? Without a doubt. Because the alternative, spending your life wondering what could have been, is a burden far heavier than any challenge you might face on the road to abundance. Take this moment to reflect on your history. All the trials, the heartbreaks, the near misses, and the fleeting triumphs have been preparing you. Each lesson, whether painful or joyous, has shaped you into someone who can now handle the weight of extraordinary blessings. It's like the universe has been refining you, forging you in the fires of experience, so that when the door to wealth swings open, you can step through it as a wise and capable steward of all that is good. It might help to remember that wealth is not a zero-sum game. Your success does not rob someone else of theirs. In fact, it can inspire them. We live in a universe of boundless abundance where one person's rise can elevate others, creating a wave of progress that touches countless lives. Dare to see yourself as part of that wave. Dare to believe that your personal growth has ripple effects on everyone you meet, from loved ones to total strangers. Even as you absorb this message, you may feel your heart pounding, your spirit flickering with a newfound aliveness. You might sense the stirring of old dreams you had nearly forgotten, the flicker of new possibilities you've never considered. Let these feelings guide you. They are signposts on your path, evidence that your soul is awakening to what it has always known to be true. You are a chosen one, and the wealth you seek is closer than you realize. If moments of doubt surface, as they inevitably might, remind yourself of how you feel right now. Your doubt is the echo of an old mindset that no longer fits the person you are becoming. The best way to quiet that echo is to take consistent, faith-filled action. It could be as small as journaling your goals each morning, or as big as launching a new venture. The size of the action matters less than the fact that you're moving forward. Each step, no matter how modest, is a declaration that you refuse to let fear dictate your story. It's also vital to cultivate an environment that supports your shift into wealth. This means surrounding yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally with influences that reinforce your vision. Listen to content that uplifts you, engage with people who challenge and encourage you to be better, and consume knowledge that expands your understanding of how to create and sustain abundance. Every bit of input either strengthens or weakens your resolve. Be intentional. Chosen one, if you see this message and feel its pull, please do not brush it aside. Wealth is so near it's practically knocking on your door. All that remains is for you to open it. Once you do, Don't just glance at the horizon of your possibilities, stride confidently into it. The life you desire isn't an accident or a distant fantasy, it's a future reality standing patiently in your path. You only need to claim it by believing, deciding, and acting in ways that align with the infinite support of the universe. Now, if you haven't already, type 777 in the comments below. Let that be your first tangible act of faith in this new chapter. Let it show the world and yourself that you're not merely curious, you're committed. Every time you see those numbers, let them serve as a reminder of this day, this decision, and this leap of courage. And do not let the momentum stop there. Keep taking steps, keep nurturing your vision, and keep your heart open to the guidance that arrives in whispers, dreams, or sudden realizations. There will be moments when you wonder if you're on the right track. In those moments, remember how you feel right now. Remember the surge of hope, the calm certainty that something remarkable is in motion. Let that memory ground you and refuel your conviction. Even if you temporarily lose sight of the path, come back to it. Your destiny hasn't moved. It's always waiting, illuminated by the light of your potential. Chosen one, wealth is near, closer than your next breath. You have the power to call it forth, to harness it, and to channel it for the highest good of yourself and others. The only question is whether you will answer the call or let it pass you by. I pray you have the boldness to answer, the faith to step forward, and the passion to see it through. Because the world is waiting for you to bring forth your gifts, your light, and your abundance in a way only you can. This is your time, your moment, your invitation to rise. Take it, live it, and watch as every day becomes a testament to the divine flow of prosperity that was always yours to claim.